we take it at face value, this conversation, that BP was trying to do the right thing. So what were some of the internal and external challenges that made it difficult to do the right thing? And in which circumstances was it able to address them, overcome them, and in which circumstances not? Can you give us a bit of a sense of that?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you the story of my first week in China.
Okay.
When I first got there. So I was there, again, to work on this chemicals joint venture between BP and Sinopec, one of China's state energy companies. So my first week there, I was in a meeting, and imagine these prefabricated trailers on the construction site. Construction hadn't started on this project yet. So the room was half BP guys, half Sinopec guys, all guys, 50-50 joint venture. And we were going down the spreadsheet of the latest estimates for the cost and the timeline. And so we got to, there was a number 8, and the label hadn't yet been translated into English. And my BP colleague said, what's this? What's the 8? And the Sinopec guy said, oh, that's the projected number of fatalities. He said, excuse me? He said, yeah, on a project this big, this many man hours, expect 8 fatalities. Yeah, right? And my colleague said, the target is not 8. The target is 0. And the Sinopec manager said, well, that's not realistic. And I realized he was right, actually. Given their track record, given a project that big, they'd expect 8 fatalities. So this was the conversation that I was stepping into of saying, well, if you set a target of 8 fatalities, you're probably going to kill at least 8 people. And that's good if you've killed 8 people, right? But so that was the beginning of my year there, of trying to understand, okay, well, how do you set these stretch targets? How do you make the case? And for example, what worked there was I went in there going, well, we need to protect the human rights of the workers. And that didn't go so well. I mean, it was fine. I didn't get thrown out or anything, but it just fell kind of flat. People looked at me blankly going, what are you talking about? And then I tried, well, these are the standards that BP uses around the world, and we're so great, and we should use them here. And that was incredibly arrogant. So what finally worked there was when I shut up for a couple of weeks and just listened to what resonated with people and how they talked about their work and what motivated them and what were they worried about. So it was when I came back and said, okay, I understand that you guys want this to be a world-class model project. If that's the case, these are the standards that world-class model projects use for working conditions and dormitories, so that's what we're going to do here. And they were like, oh, okay, why didn't you say so? I mean, not flippantly, but so I think one of the biggest challenges of doing this work is making the case in different sorts of environments and understanding what resonates with people.